What's up, everybody? CRWC here. CRWC commentary. We'll be reviewing Friday Night SmackDownish, which happened on the 16th. So it's all good. It's all good. So this y'all let me know how y'all feel about it, because I was like, for most of it.
Yeah.
The best. There were some good parts. It's just like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. So it starts off, Solo and crew come out, and after the fans chant Fatu, Solo introduces Jeff Cobb as JC. Solo, and they backlash, just Jeff Cobb, that's Jeff Cobb. So now he's JC, all right? That's just it, JC, all right? Solo informs the people that he will get back everything stolen from his family. If anyone gets in their way, he'll have to deal with them, and with him and JC and Fatu. So Solo quickly goes into Fatu's shtick, saying people need to get in where they fit in, and he's all gas and no break. Jacob just muscles the mic from him. Jacob cuts a promo. I said I'd do this with you. Without you, I got this. I did this thing. You know, y'all don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. You know, y'all know who I am. You know, and Solo talks about loving Jacob, and the title that he holds is proof of it. Solo gets Jacob to recite that he loves Solo, and then Solo's like, "Nah, man, you need to say it the way you used to. Remember how you used to say it? Remember how you used to be?" And I'm like, man, he is drawing battle lines. Mm-hmm. And Jacob, you know, it's like he's looking like, man, I love you, man. He's like, no, bro.
That's not how you used to say it. Remember how you used to say it?
I love you, Solo. I love you. So that's what he's trying to get out of him.
Say it like that.
Say it like you mean it. Say it like you did last night.
Yo.
You know.
And Jacob took off the sunglasses and had that look on his face.
Yeah, like we're gonna have to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what's gonna have to happen. And
then,
so Jacob, he's done with him. Their music hit. You know, and Knight pulls JC out, started attacking him. Then Knight had to dip when the rest came in. Knight was wearing shorts and boots. You found that funny.
Looked like he was wearing shorts and cowboy boots, but looked like.
Okay, see, I never saw the boots. I just kept seeing the shorts. I was like, what's wrong with shorts?
Unless it weren't cowboy boots and he just had his knee pads down at his ankles. It was something weird going on there.
I ain't even asked to rewind to look at it. I was like, okay, you know.
But the shorts he had on, you know, he got his thighs out. You know, here lately in the past 2 years, dudes done changed up the short game. They wearing the thighs out.
Here you go. In the back, Chelsea Green goes full Republican and is angry at Alexis Bliss. She's talking about trickle-down economics and all this other stuff and tariffs. Okay.
So she said, I'm going to put a tariff on mediocrity, and you two are the first. I thought the tariff on mediocrity was funny.
Yeah. And, you know, this is a Money in the Bank qualifier match, so it's Michin, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green. Bliss wins, as I suspected, with it, but she won with a DDT on Chelsea, and everyone was excited about it. And I'm like, all right. Basically, it's just, I mean, the way I see it is Blade Runner, but it transitions to a DDT instead of the complete shot. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
But it takes a while to set it up. I was like, you know what? If you just toe kicked and DDT'd her, you'd have got it on. But you got to do all this convoluted stuff.
Yeah.
It's meaningless. Fraxium versus DIY. Axiom pins Gargano, but he rolled him up so far, his shoulder blades were in the air. Ref should have stopped the count. And we can just pin with next now. You know, so DIY.
It's Gargano. Who gives a shit?
Damn, man. DIY attacks and Motor City Machine Guns run in to defend Fraxium. Mm-hmm. So in the back, Andrade and Rey Fenix talk when Solo and crew approach looking for Knight. And all of a sudden, it's like, I don't speak English. It's like, no English, huh? No, okay. And they walk off. I thought something was going to come of it. It's like, all right. Fraxium is met by Street Profits who are sarcastically overjoyed at the fast rise of Fraxium. Axiom, my bad. Axiom tries to get Frazier to calm down, as Ford informs them that they'll defend their belts not at any pay-per-view, not at Saturday Night's Main Event, but next week
on SmackDown.
It's like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, Frazier, yeah, man, yeah. And Axiom, having some poise, was like, thank you for this opportunity.
Yep.
Because it was obvious to everybody but Frazier that Street Profits felt a way about this whole endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
And Axiom consistently felt a way about this whole endeavor. And Axiom was like, I don't want the way to rain down on us.
Yep. It's like, we want to go in, have a match. If we win, we win. We lose, and that's it.
And Frazier's like,
yep.
Like a doofus.
So, Wade Barrett had a sit down with R-Truth. He asked Truth about why Cena put him through a table at the press conference. And they showed it at some point. And then Truth comes across as a cult follower. What he's doing is being a fan of old school babyface, wrestlers. So it's like you do that full-on support. Then when the babyface turns heel, it's like, no, man. I'm an absolute apologetic on this. I'm like the number one fan. I got to give him back the way he used to be, man. And then Truth says Cena's not the same as he was, and he's going to have to beat it back into him if he got to. I got to find the old Cena. And it was like, so the match has been made for Saturday Night's Main Event. Truth lives by all the words of John Cena, and that's what he was going on about. And I'm like, you know what? This is stale because R-Truth has been there for over, it's almost 20 years, if not been 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
R-Truth has been there way too long to get anything. Maybe he's happy where he is. Making money, wrestling, having fun.
Yeah.
Doing what it is that I do.
Maybe he's doing something. Maybe he's got a bigger role backstage.
Maybe he do. Maybe he trains some people. Maybe he gives some pointers here and there. But going on what we see, we're going on as a fan. We watch the show. R-Truth is nothing. He's got no legacy. He's got nothing. He's won titles in the past. Okay? That's it. So he has a match with Cena and loses inside of 5 minutes. So what? They're not going to reboost him up to be worth a damn. He's got nothing. He's got as much potential as he does hair near his forehead. That's about it. And I feel bad for R-Truth because I think he's damn great in the ring. He can always cut a great promo. I think he can hold any damn belt in that company. He's extremely entertaining. It's like, well, we don't have Christian, so we're going to use him. That's what it seems like.
The Truth is far more entertaining.
Truth looks like he can whoop somebody's ass.
Christian
never has looked like that.
It does not look like that.
Christian looks like a politician
in a cheap suit.
So that's how I feel about all that. So this is a waste of talent to me. If they use this to show you what Truth can actually do, and then maybe Truth and Cena might team up here and there for something, or this elevates Truth as a babyface, doing his best to help change Cena, but they elevate him to the point where he can win titles and be part of the title scene. As a fan looking at this, that's what I want. Okay? For someone that understands what pro wrestling truly is, if he's happy where he is, and okay, then he won. R-Truth wins every day he wake up. And that's cool. Ain't nothing I cheer for. I don't give a damn. But I'm thinking about this as a fan, watching on that screen. So, Aleister Black versus Carmelo Hayes was a very long, competitive match that showcased both of their skills. And Carmelo Hayes has got his timing almost perfectly down.
Mm-hmm.
His pacing, he's getting it. I think he's starting to find his personal pace.
I think you're right.
At points you see him want to speed up like he's on NXT or some indie guy. he slows it down. He's got to get that out of him. You know, you looking at the wild young horse trying to learn to slow down, keep pace with the rest, and do what's right. That's what you're looking at. There's a pre-recorded promo of Damian Priest advertising a steel cage match with Drew McIntyre on Saturday night's main event. I was thinking, like, what the hell is SNME? SME. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what I went through real quick. That little pause. Carmelo Hayes does a good promo with Miz backing him up. And it was a hype promo. I tried to no sell it, but it was too damn good. Hayes fell during the match. Hayes fell out of the ring, and Black went for that triangle moonsault. Miz threw Hayes into the ring, and Black landed confused, like, where in the hell? And Miz is like, I got nothing. I ain't doing that,
he
man.
backed off.
That was me. That wasn't me. That was somebody else. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, it was good. Miz was always in the right spot to interfere, and the fans did not boo it. They do not care about Aleister Black. They don't give a damn. You got to wash off AEW. You've got to have him talk, but it's got to be for something. It's got to be for something. So, because the fans don't care. Like, you betrayed us.
Yep.
But then you come back and it's like, okay, you're just the returning American version of Nakamura, where he can't speak English and you don't speak English. That's
not cool.
And I know Nakamura can speak a little English.
Yeah.
But this dude can speak and will not. So it's like, okay, your mystique is gone. We've seen you on AEW. You know, so Aleister, he prepares for his finish. Miz attacks, DQ. Black fights back, dropping Miz with the kick, and Hayes chop blocks Black, beats him down, finisher. There we go. That's what that was. So then we get Alexa Bliss was talking to Byron Coachman when she saw Charlotte. She approaches and tries to show her appreciation when Julia exits Aldis's room, and Julia looked like she did things she never wanted to do.
She did. She didn't look like she didn't look well when she came out.
Yeah, she looked like, I hope I never have to do this again.
It wasn't a good look.
It was not a good look. I'm like, WWE and others are under enough sex scandals.
They don't need to be having anything going down that looks anything like it at all.
This looks bad, and it's going to be a little worse. Because, okay, now, she had that look. She said nothing. She didn't even look at Charlotte or anyone like, you know, I got something. Mm-hmm. No.
Right at the end, she smiled a little.
Y'all gonna hate this, but man, she looked like the little girl leaving the room of the adult, and she's not happy, and she has nothing to say and doesn't want to look at anyone.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened in that room? You need to mind your business. Oh, crap.
Yeah, it really sounds terrible. She did smile a little bit at the end
after
the reveal.
Mm-hmm. Just a little. So then Aldis exits like, you know, he had a small pep talk and asked Charlotte to step into his room and talk about, I think it was Money in the Bank, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's Money in the Bank.
Charlotte tells Alexis, like, I don't need you and I'll never need you. You know, stay out my damn way. And she went into the room. Aldis had nothing to say and he went in and closed the door.
Yeah. And Alexa Bliss says, you think that's true?
Yeah, you keep on thinking that. Mm-hmm. This ain't going the way you think. I was like, all right, Harley Quinn.
I mean, that's what she looked like.
So then, we'll get to this a little bit later. Drew McIntyre comes to the ring limping. He looks hurt up. He tells Priest that he watched the video and there's this Drew vortex that they're all in, and it's the only reason why Damon is relevant. Drew puts everything to blame on Priest and says that Priest is obsessed with him. He agrees that it has to come to an end, and the cage match next Saturday, he agrees to. Drew is walking with a ton of back and leg stiffness.
Yes, which makes his long promo even longer, so we fast forwarded through it.
We ain't speed through the promo.
Not the promo,
just his
the intro.
intro.
Sorry, the intro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow intro.
And as Drew exits, Solo and crew come out and pass each other with caution. Jeff Cobb is introduced as JC Mateo, and it's a Money in the Bank qualifier. So, okay, Solo Sikoa versus Big Jimmy Uso versus Rey Fenix. The fans chant Fatu.
Yeah.
Solo was thrown over the rope.
Fatu's not in the match. Understand that.
Yeah, he's not in the match. He's just out there.
Mm-hmm.
Solo was thrown over the rope, and his wrist got Andre the Giant into the ropes, or Cactus, or Mick Foley's head into the ropes. Which they got scissored. They got scissored, and I was like, this could lead to a dislocation or a broken wrist.
Jimmy and Phoenix quickly freed him.
Yep, it was quick.
He was convalescing for a bit on the outside. And
yep, he took himself out the match at the table, letting you know I'm not a player in this anymore. Solo comes back and eventually he beats the hell out of Jimmy using the announce table, and then mocks Jacob's boasting of the boogeyman's boast, saying, you know, I love you. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, you keep poking the bear.
He does.
Phoenix rolls. Solo had Phoenix. Okay, reverse bear hug. Had him elevated. Jimmy was going to do something. Phoenix evades Solo by doing a roll-up. Okay, a wheelbarrow roll-up. The mat, they're down on the mat. He's got him pinned. Jimmy misses. He lands. He's on the other side of the ring in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Referee Charles Robinson is just looking at him like, man, you know.
Just staring at you.
And Wade said, wake up, ref. And ref looked like, oh crap.
But it was too late.
It was way too, he was already kicking
late.
out.
Yeah.
And you could see, and his motions after that was like, I'm trying to look like I'm doing something. I was like, you in trouble, man.
Yeah.
I was like, how much trouble? We don't know. He zoned out.
Yeah.
You could see, and I know it happens. I've seen it happen in multiple. Nick Patrick, WCW referee.
Yeah.
I've seen him zone out, and it was a shoot. He zoned out. It just happens. I've seen it at the now defunct, but SCW. I've seen it with the referee, Mr. Jolly. It was a match. He just kind of zoned out looking at this fan. I don't know what it was. He was just looking at the fan, and he looked, oh! And I've seen it.
It's your head in the game, dude.
So the fans chant Fatu.
Who is still not in the match.
Ain't even done anything. He's just standing there wearing black.
There, yeah, with the sunglasses on.
Solo wins with a Samoan spike on Phoenix. Got the pin. Knight comes in, attacks Solo's crew, and nearly slips off the announce table.
Yeah.
That mess was funny. I was like, nah, bro, I saw that. I was like, hey, I had to get my daughter. I said, hey, watch this. And she just started laughing. I was like, yep, I knew
he slipped hardcore. He's lucky. He's real lucky he didn't fall.
He was, man, if his foot had slipped forward, that would have been a split. He would have torn his groin, and if not, he would have just been thoroughly embarrassed. Because once he falls, they got to beat on him.
Yeah.
They got to beat on him. They can't
be like, oh, dude, you okay? No, they got to whoop that ass.
So, whether he's injured or not, they would have had to pounce on him. So now Nick Aldis comes out. Now, before this match, during this match, and not even at this juncture, Aldis comes out with no conclusion with Charlotte and makes the match. Aldis could have came out and said, I just got a Money in the Bank situation with Charlotte and Julia. I got this going on, and since you two can't leave each other alone, you can't stay out of his business, you need some business, let's have your debut now. It could have been something like that.
Yeah.
But no. I'm like, Flair, you might need, I know she's a grown woman, but you need to check on your daughter.
She fine. Ain't nobody worried about Charlotte. That's why he have to say nothing.
It ain't that too. I'm like, Mickey James,
And Mickey might need to investigate.
Yeah,
but
you mean
like I said, either way, Charlotte fine.
JC Mateo's debut against LA Knight. All right. So look, this was an extremely long match.
It was.
Okay, but it was never boring. It was entertaining. It was at a beautiful pace. It's a long. What I wrote was a long match, and the fans were chanting that they want tables.
Yeah, really. Which they did not get.
Yep.
Here's the thing. It was a long match, and basically because of what we know of Jeff Cobb, he just had to let LA look good.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the match was so long. He had to let LA look good, and he didn't start breaking off his stuff to the very end. And there was so much that we didn't see from him. He was kind of cruising.
Jeff Cobb, this match was great to show. Well, JC Mateo can carry a match. He's got great endurance, amazing pacing. He is seasoned, but he also is still able to listen, take direction, and call audibles to the point where you can't even tell if there was a mess up or not. He did great.
Yeah.
He did great. And the fans were quiet because they know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
They know what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
They know what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
So JC says something. He says something tonight. Pats him on the shoulder, Irish whip, and the fans all inhale.
Yeah, they're waiting for it.
I
was waiting for it.
It was audible. It was audible. You could hear it. You could hear it. He pat him on the back. You could hear all of them. I was like, oh my goodness. That's. I gotta admit, y'all, I got little butterflies on that one because they knew, and he didn't get it. Then he didn't get it.
No.
He didn't. No. LA Knight was jaw jacking with the crew on that. But then LA Knight turns around, tries a slingshot shoulder block, and he got caught into the Tour of the Islands.
Snatched him out the air.
But the fans weren't ready.
They were not ready.
They were not ready.
Because it was an atypical way of him going into it. He can go into it a number of ways. You can come off the top rope. You can springboard. He can sling your ass to the ropes. And that's the one that happens most frequently. So that's the one they were waiting for, but that's not what they got.
And he could do it with the return version. That return like you're gonna do a short range lariat, but he snatch you up.
Yeah.
He can catch you into that move from any position. That is his baby. That's his baby. Master of the Gachimuchi style.
Yeah.
And he got it. The fans weren't ready, but they were happy. He got the pin. He got the win. Solo raised the hand of JC, and Jacob raised the belt. And they were like, you could put a tag team between them. That's how much space there was in that ring. Jacob is flying solo. He is solo in the group. And this match, this show's been so long without all the commercials, and I thought this was the main event. And then it showed Santo talking. I said, it's still going?
Yep.
I was like, it's still going.
It's a 3-hour show.
Santo talked to Angel, and he wants Berto back and talks about loyalty being everything. All right, cool. Nakamura talks up Knight being the same old him, and I'm like, why are you talking about LA Knight? Alistair Black. I ain't afraid of you. I'm like, she was like, we call that shit.
We did.
Like, yep. I was like, you ain't got no choice. They gonna stick that crap together.
And it's for the next Money in the Bank match next week.
Yep. And so next they show Jay talking to Tiffany while Naomi sits in the back watching.
Lurking around the way Nakamura normally does.
And then Tiffany says that while she's champion, Jade will never be good enough to cash that belt in, even if the briefcase in, even if she win. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, Tiffany, why are you talking like a heel?
Good question. Because it's that.
She never stopped. She's never stopped talking like a heel.
The mean girl instincts.
I know what they're doing. I'm going to get into it after this. Because this right here is what you call an abomination of a match. This is for the Women's Championship. Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton. I am not going to go through all the crap because I'll just be talking about how terrible this was. And if I was Tiffany, I'd be wanting to take a chair to her legitimately. But they wrestle with Jax being as rigid as a newly built bridge. Naomi comes out with a chair and red hair.
Yeah.
Jade comes out and evades a chair swing and they fight off. Kind of run off, as you pointed out. Tiffany hit her finish. Jax kicks out. Commentary is shocked. No one's ever kicked out. Oh my God. What? I'm like, shut up. Shut your ass. Y'all look stupid. It's a moonsault. That's all it is. It's just a damn moonsault. Shut up. And so Jax clears off the table and the ref isn't counting but arguing. You don't want to do that. You did something like, 1, 2, 3. All you got to do is count up to 10.
Yeah.
You can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just something, But all right, so Jax Samoan drops Stratton to the desk. Won't a far drop, but we saw it coming. Tiffany tries to pull Jax into a powerbomb because Jax went up for the Annihilator. Tiffany got up, was like, no, and it looked like she was trying to pull her with everything she had.
Yes.
Tiffany looked amazing trying that. I got to admit, I was like, oh my goodness. I got pulled in for that second. And then something happened. Tiffany seemed like she slipped and Jax just dropped her weight with her legs in the air all on Stratton's abdomen and ribs. That looked like she straight up legit squashed her.
Just splat. Just sat there with all her weight.
Hurt, injured, or not, sell your abdomen, sell your ribs. 1, 2, grab the rope.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Right? No. Jax just kept sitting there like an idiot. Guess what, Jax? She got the ropes. It's a kick out. Ref, get her off the opponent. You got to break it up. That's the job. Come on. I'm not in the business. Why do I know more than you? As soon it's like, okay, it's broken up. Okay. Oh, you got to get up. Okay. 1, you got a 5 count. It's a DQ because they in the ropes and you're not breaking the hold. See? Jax get a chair after, distracted with the belt. Tiffany drop kicks the chair into the face, hits the moonsault, 1, 2, 3. Commentary is ready to drop a baby in the arms of the doctor at this point. They are happy.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany didn't sell anything either. Didn't sell shit. Nothing. You just got your ribs jacked up.
Yep.
You got powerbombed twice. What does it take? Like, I'm about to put something nasty in your body for you to sell it? Let me take this poison right here and put it right here up under your third rib. You gonna sell that? You're gonna be feeling it's gonna hurt. It's gonna burn. Like, you didn't have diarrhea before? Sell. Shoot, somebody gut punch you for real, you'll sell. Because this is how it should have went. She gets the moonsault. Jax kicks out. Can't believe it. Okay, fine. Squashed. She should have curled up and showed that fighting spirit. Fighting spirit is not the strike exchange, people. Showed the fighting spirit. You taking heavy damage. You were going to fight through that no matter what. No matter what. It hurts. You're doubled over, but you're doing what you got to do. Drop kick that chair. Curl up a little bit. Grab her. Pull her. Grimace in pain. Shake your head. Show that it hurts. Get to the top. You look like this is the dumbest thing I can do, but I got to do it. Moonsault. Bam. You land. Hold your ribs. Cover her with your shoulder or your head. Lay there curled up. 1, 2, 3. Roll away from her. Curled up. You would have bought that, wouldn't you? That's what all you had to do. But it is what it is. Look, I've spoken long enough. Okay, look, I'm going to get up out of here. This has been Cedric and CJ for CRWC Commentary, Friday Night SmackDownish. I want y'all to like, share, subscribe. Y'all be cool, be chill, be safe, so we can see you next time.